Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos. And Manchester United have just significantly, Manchester United just lost 1-0 to Basel at St Jacobs Park, and what makes the difference is Michael Lang's goal right near the end that gives Basel the victory against us. Really, it is a disappointment considering that we are basically, we only went for the point tonight because that's what we basically only needed, to get a qualification, tonight. But it is disappointing. Manchester United have lost the game by 1 goal to nil, as we know. Before the game, we still had Phil Jones out, we had Eric Bailly out, we still had Michael Carrick sidelined, but we know Jose Mourinho had rotated the squad a little bit. We know Rojo had played his first game, since his current injury, back in the Anlock game in April, he suffered a long-term injury. We also know Ibrahimovic was on the bench as well, but Jose Mourinho had gone with a 4-2-3-1 formation. But basically, it's not that disappointing, because, in the Champions League, we've got 12 points, basically. We've had 4 wins now in the Champions League, 1 defeat, 10 goals scored, and now 2 goals conceded, in the current process. It is disappointing that we have lost the current game, but going into the game, I thought first half Manchester United we were absolutely fantastic. I thought we were on the front foot. I thought quite a few players, performed fantastically well. We created quite a few decent opportunities, especially in the first half of the game. We was definitely on the front foot. Basel was struggling really to get in the game. They was definitely on the back foot, and basically it was a good performance of Manchester United. First, passing the ball very, very well. Created quite a few chances, had the majority of the possession. Manchester United, especially in the first half, hit the crossbar. No, we hit the post through who was it now? I think it was Anthony Martial, or it's Fellaini. Also, Rojo had hit the bar. I think it was the deflected off Benfica player, but that hit the bar as well. Martial, on the left-hand side, had a chance, cut through 2 defenders, got on the left-hand side, had a chip shot, but that was saved by the Basel goalkeeper as well. We also had a few decent chances, through Mali and Fellaini, especially, in the first half as well. But basically, in the first half, it was a good performance. I thought Rojo had a fantastic game tonight, especially, in the back line. I thought in the midfield we were dominating the first half. The performance was absolutely fantastic for Manchester United, but then basically after the break we basically fell apart, because then Basel had pushed up. We were careless in the second half. We looked luster, especially at the back. A few individual mistakes, and especially in the second half, Basel had really stepped up. They had a lot of Basel had a lot of chances. Basel, as I was saying, guys, Basel had a lot of chances, in the second half. They also hit the post in the second half, did Basel as well in the current process. And Sergio Romero had to make quite a few decent saves in the second half, from preventing Basel. We also conceded a lot, quite a lot of free kicks in the second half. We give Basel quite a lot of free kicks. Paul Pogba had the chance in the first half for us from a free kicker as well. But Basel had really stepped it up in the second half, and we were really struggling to get into the game. There were quite a few individual mistakes from Manchester United as well. And right at the 89th minute, Michael Long had it was on the left hand side. The ball was played into the box, and Michael Long finishes it from the far post. But Daley Blind really should have done better with that, as we all know. Also, in the second half, Rashford had come on, Zlatan Ibrahimovic had come on, and I think Matic had come on as well. And Rashford had a chance that just hit the side netting as well in the game. I think Lukaku had a chance with a header that just went over the bar as well. But basically, based on Basel's second half performance, you've got to be honest, they deserved the victory, because Basel really, grew in confidence, the momentum built up, and they really went for it in the second half. And they had numerous opportunities in the second half, did Basel, and we was basically on the back foot. We were giving the ball away quite cheaply, especially in the second half, and we couldn't really get into game in the second half. So based on the second half performance, Basel deserved a win. In the first half performance, Manchester United dominated the game, and we should have got at least 1 or 2 goals, in the first half. We had some decent opportunities, in the first half. I thought Rojo played well. I thought Martial, played fantastically well on the left-hand side for us. I don't think Ander Herrera did too bad. I thought Rojo was absolutely fantastic, at the back on his return, in his first game, since injury, Marcos Rojo, he put Daley Blind and Chris Smalling at centre-back, as we all know, did Jose Mourinho. I don't think Darmian had a bad game. Lukaku, I think, had a chance or two. I didn't really watch all the game, but I saw quite a few chances in the game. But I saw the second half, Basel really stepped indeed, and Rivera had to make quite a few decent saves, but right at the end, Basel, got basically what they deserved in second half, got the goal, and they went up. They did win the game, so we still sit top of the group on 12 points. We still need a point now to qualify. We still got our last game in the group stage, and that's CSK Moscow at home, basically, in the current process. So it is disappointing we've lost to Basel tonight. Not the most disappointing, because we have done well in the Champions League, up until tonight as well. But yeah, it was Michael Lang that was the difference, and he got Basel the winner in the current end. So Basel win the game by 1-0 in the current process. Second half, Man United was just not on top at all, and was on the back foot. Was really struggling to press forward. Basel were pressing forward fantastically well. They were pressing high up the pitch, creating opportunities and causing all sorts of problems for us. And Romero had to produce some fantastic saves. The one chance, it was a long range effort, and Romero had to dive to his right. And if he hadn't saved that, that would have gone in as well in the current process. But as I said, not the good first half performance, poor second half performance, basically, because Basel had stepped up. So hopefully, we can get the result, get the point or the result, or the 3 points against CSKA Moscow, to guarantee us qualification for the knockout stages as well. So anyway, guys, that is basically everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes, below, and challenge. Do consider subscribe as always. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye.